And welcome back to another Beyond the Streams episode. How are you doing, Next Level?
I'm doing fantastic as much as I can do. I'm
How's your
a
arm?
one-armed man for the next 6 weeks, but it is what it is.
We'll need to have another episode later on what the hell you were doing in the shower before you
Hey.
slipped this out.
You're just going to leave it like that? Everyone's imaginations is going to run. You know what I mean?
Yep. And today we do have a special guest. What's up, Bo?
What's up, y'all?
How's it going, man?
Oh, I'm good.
Now, I gotta say, when you first started on YouTube, you were doing interviews, right?
When I first started,
No.
Or was it down the road when you started the interviews?
it was down the road.
Listen,
Down the road.
out of a lot of people on YouTube, I met Bo Knows first. Because this is a story that I don't think a lot of people know. But I had made a video about file linked and how to have multiple file links installed on your device. And Bo actually saw that video. This was way before anybody heard of me. And he's like, this is a dope video. I'm going to show how to do it on my channel. And he did it. And, you know, when you're a new YouTuber, one of the most common things you do is you search yourself. You search the videos that you do. And Bo's video came up and I was like, hey. And he gave me a shout out. And I was like, yo, this is dope. Because I'm just getting started. I had I don't even think I had 1,000 subscribers. I was probably like 500 or something like that. And I was like, this is really cool. And from that, we started talking because he would do live streams. And that's how I pretty much met everybody on like Bo Knows side, like all of like DST, Super Dell, like all those guys. So it was really cool seeing somebody like being a brand new YouTuber because Bo was in the game before me, just like Rohas was in the game before me. You know what I mean? So it was really cool to see somebody showing something that I created.
Yeah, it was
I do
weird.
have to give respect for that. You know what I mean?
I was just going by more or less what I was taught as far as, you know, giving homage to if you see something, give it to the next person. So for me to see your video, I thought it was a cool video. And like you said, you had just started off and I liked it. And I was like, man, I got to use this video. And once I did the video, I was like, man, I got to actually show where I got it from and all this and that. And like he said, the good thing about it was that we actually started building a friendship. You know what I'm saying? Because from that, then we started on Facebook, and then from Facebook, we would go back and forth.
We did,
and do a lot of back and forth on Facebook. And a lot of people, like you said, didn't know it. But once they start knowing who you was, it just blew up.
And it was crazy because I think you were one of the first people that I would actually have like calls with because we would call each other and we would talk about file linked. And I was like, yo, if you need help with anything, you let me know. And it was the same. Like you're like, yo, if you need help with anything, you let me know. But from when I met you, you weren't doing interviews yet.
Yeah. I wasn't.
When you started,
I did interviews till later on. And it was weird how that even transpired, but it was because I was just doing regular videos and putting my videos up, and then from that it was, you know, it was just mentioned like, hey, you should try this or you should do this and that, and I think you'd be good at it, this and that, and it was, I had started with King. I didn't start with King, but it was to the point where he was doing something and he was like, hey, I'm a little intimidated from this person. And I think I need your help. I'm like, what would you need my help for? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you do good as far as interviewing. And it went from that to, I was like, you know what? I think I actually can start doing this. But then when I thought about it, I started thinking of what we wasn't doing in the community, which was learning about each YouTuber.
Each other.
You know what I'm saying? And I thought it'd be a good thing for me to get in there and ask certain YouTubers and that. And it was rough though in the beginning because I would, where I messed up at in the beginning, I would copy and paste like what I said to the first YouTuber, and then I would send it to the next YouTuber and send it to the next one and send it to the next one. And then you had some of them that would talk smack to me. And in the beginning and learning and you know, I didn't know how to deal with it at first. But then I learned later on how to deal with it, you know, because I had some of them I had asked one YouTuber, and And then when I asked another one, I didn't know that the two YouTubers that I asked, I didn't know that they didn't like each other. I didn't know that. But it became to where he tried to throw a shot at me and was like, you know, he telling me, he said, well, the person that he interviewed, it was a fake interview. And I was like, what do you mean it was a fake interview? He was like, it was a fake interview. If you don't believe me, look at the email that he wrote me. He's telling me that he wouldn't put certain things in there, or he wouldn't say this and that. And I'm like, so when I looked at it, I'm going, somebody else had let me know, like, look, he's blashing you out on Twitter and this and that. He's trying to say you fake and all this and that. And so I had to address it. But I mean, me addressing it was to the point to where it wasn't when I was saying that I wouldn't put certain things in there, because as a YouTuber, there's certain things you don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be in an interview, you might say, well, hey, I don't want, I just leave that subject alone. And that was fine with me. I wouldn't talk about the subject, whatever the subject was. But the other person took it and made it negative, like I said I was gonna only talk about the good stuff, or I was gonna only talk about, you know, this and that. And that's not what I meant. You know what I'm saying? I said, so you basically just twist my words and made it like, you know what I'm saying? You twisted my words and made it like that I was just doing video, doing interviews with people, and I'm only gonna talk about the only thing that's good. And of course, everybody want to hear about the good, but if they want to bring up something, or if they had in the past of coming up with this and that, I have no problem with talking about it. But again, I wanted to make sure they was comfortable with going, okay, I'm going to be able to interview this person. I have a little bit of dictation of how I want the interview to be ran. I don't want them to think like, oh, it's going to be the way I do it, and that's it. So it wasn't that. But I mean, I got past that. Even though he was a huge YouTuber, this dude was a huge YouTuber. So, and it was funny that, you know, when DST found about it, they was just like, nah, we got your back. If he wants to go there, we can go there. But it ended up that, you know, it didn't go there. He said what he said on Twitter, and then, you know, later on he ended up taking it down. You know, and I was just like, okay, cool. You know, because I was just like, you know, what you, I said, if you didn't want to interview with me, that's fine. I said, but don't, because you don't like the other person, don't make it to the point to where I'm fake.
Yeah, don't put me in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't put me in the middle of what I got going on. I'm not in the mix of that. I mean, my thing is I have no problem with you or have no problem with him. You know what I'm saying? So my job is to get out and interview these YouTubers. Don't put me in the middle of y'all
beef.
Y'all spat.
Yeah.
But I think that I've probably been on YouTube for about 4-ish years now. You've probably been on a little bit longer than that. What got you here, though? Like, was it something in particular that you thought that you wanted to make videos on? Like, what started making? What gave you the interest to be on YouTube?
I started streaming, and it was funny because when I started streaming, I was new in the game as far as, you know, getting apps and grabbing apps. And then what it was the story is kind of funny. Was I had got a Fire Stick, and the first time I got a Fire Stick, I had got it. My college friend had sold me the Fire Stick. So when he sold me the Fire Stick, I called him and was like, hey, how you do this? How you do that? What do I do with this? What is and he couldn't give me an answer on none of it. And I'm in my head, I'm going, you the one who's selling it, but you can't give me an answer on none of the questions that I'm asking you. So I go to work, and then while I'm at work, you know, because I'm trying to promote my friend, I'm telling people, oh, if you won't help this and that, you know, get the Fire Stick for my friend. So one of my coworkers was like, oh, I got that on my phone. I said, you got what on your phone? He said, I got the Fire Stick on my phone. I was like, I said, what? So, you know, he shows me, and I'm like, wait a minute, how'd you get on your phone? He was like, I don't know. My cousin did it. So, and it was funny because we took all day at work, knowing we supposed to be working, but every chance we bumped into each other, we trying to figure out how to get the app that he got on my phone. So once we got it on my phone, then my next question was, okay, so how do I get on the Fire Stick? You know what I'm saying? So, and I still couldn't figure out how to get on the Fire Stick. So, of course, I go to YouTube. I Google it. Or I go to YouTube and I go to the search. Once I go to the search engine, I'm like, So I'm still trying to figure it out. So I take it, boom. Once I get onto that Fire Stick, then from there is when I started bumping into different names. You know, I started bumping into Touch Tone. I saw Rohas. I saw I saw DVD King first. Then I saw from DVD King videos. Then I saw Super Deal. So then I saw Target. So I started seeing all the different YouTuber names, and of course I have no idea who they are, how big they are, what their importance is, or any
What
of
they're
that.
about, nothing like that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to get it on my Fire Stick and how to get it to work and this and that. So once I get that on there and I start learning from these guys, the one who I thought was the shadiest was DVD King, and it was crazy because he kept doing videos, and then he was like,
Okay.
well, go to my page. So I ended up going to his page,
Now,
his Facebook page.
I have to ask, I didn't know DVD King then. So now DVD King, if you watch DVD King's channel and his videos now, they're all live streams. What kind of videos was he making back then?
Oh, the same thing, videos of his app. You know what I'm saying? Of what he created. So he would only do video back then. He would only still do videos more or less of his stuff, like now. But he had a little bit of other people's stuff in there, but it was a real small part of other people's stuff. It was real small part of everybody's stuff, but it was mainly his. Go to my Facebook page.
Okay.
If you want to buy it, this and that, you can buy it. And it was funny because I was like, once I found out everybody else was giving it away for free, I'm like, I'm not buying nothing from this dude. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was interesting. So like I said, once I went to his Facebook page, I get on there. He had quite a bit of people on his Facebook page. And then I had a couple hiccups with a couple of the free apps. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get back at this dude, and I'm gonna buy his app. So he ended up putting his number in the message in the messenger, and then once you get that, I call him, I talk to him, I get his app. So once I get his app, I'm like, okay, his app, it's kind of cool. This and that, it was different. So I was like, all right, cool. So from me getting it, then this is where I started getting into YouTube. So I had another YouTuber. He wasn't a YouTuber at the time, but I had another YouTuber get at me in my message box and was like, DVD King, he's shady, be careful. Don't deal with him, this and that, watch out for him and all this and that. And when he first started saying it, I started listening at first. But where he messed up at is when he goes, well, don't deal with him, don't talk to him. And then he busts me with, hey, but I'm going to start my own app. You can give me this and that, and I'll charge you this and that for the app. And I was like, what? I'm like, how would you go from to the shady, don't deal with them, don't this and that? And I'd have been cool with that. And then later on in the line, if he said, you know what, I started my own stuff, then I'd have been like, okay, cool. But during the whole conversation of you telling me to watch out for this dude, you're trying to sell me something. And I'm like, so is he really shady, or is you just trying to take his customers?
Exactly, because it discredits what he says.
Yeah, and that's just the way I thought about it. So the funny part is the next thing I know, like the next day, where it becomes funny at the next day, I get a notification. And then on this notification, this other dude that had just got with me, tried to get at me, is on the live stream. He's on the live stream with DVD King, and they going back and forth. And then other YouTubers are actually getting into the argument. So me, I'm sitting there and I'm listening, and I'm just laughing, and I'm like, he crazy, and this dude, this is that, and I'm just going back and forth. So it goes on for about a week, and I'm still in King's group, and I'm just steady listening. And then as I'm listening, I then text King and let him know, like, hey, be careful. This dude tried to get at me and I told him, like, the story and the rundown and all this and that. So next thing you know, King go live. He go live and he's on his live. Then next thing you know, You got certain YouTubers that come into his chat. I'm in the chat, and they talking smack to him. So they talk smack to him. He talks smack back to them. But the dude, the part that was funny was the dude that started it off. He's not saying nothing. He's not talking. He's not none of that. But they backing this other YouTuber up. Well, he wasn't a YouTuber then, but they was backing this guy up, and he wasn't saying nothing, but he was in the mix while they was arguing.
Yeah. So
next thing I know, King go, hey, the guy's in the chat right now. If you don't believe me, I'll put the guy in the chat now. And I'm stay looking like, who's the guy? Who's the guy? I'm like, who you gonna bring in? who you about to bring in? Who you gonna have, talk about this situation?
Mm-hmm.
He like, yeah, that dude right there, the dude that's down there, this and that. And he like, so he at that point in time, my name was different on my channel. So so yeah, my name was different because you can think about it. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just following people. I'm not a YouTuber. Yeah. So next thing you know, he goes, I'm gonna send you a link, and come in here. I'm like, you gonna send me a link? So he's like, yeah, I'm finna send you a link. You come in, you come talk to these guys, this and that, and he'll tell y'all what really happened. So in my head, I'm still going like, okay, how do I get this link? How do I get on? I had no clue or nothing. Yeah. So they probably send me the link. And then once he sent me the link, I get on. And it was funny because once I get on, they drilling me. And as they drilling me, but in my head, I'm going, ooh, that's such and such. And oh, that's such and such. And I saw his video. I'm so much, they talking to me. And I'm going, wait a minute, he talking to me. And and it was just crazy because I'm going, he's talking to me. And I go to his channel and watch his videos. And this dude talking to me. I'm like, so dang, they actually talk to people. I'm saying all this while I'm defending King. So they was like, hey, you seem like you're a pretty good dude. And this and that. And I end up getting off that video. So once I got the video, 2 days later, King goes, I want you to meet, another YouTuber. And, he said, well, I want you to meet him, to let him know what's going on. It ended up being Dale. Mm. So, and it was weird because when it ended up being Dale, I'm going, wait a minute, I watched this dude videos too. Right. So when Dale get on, I'm talking to Dale, we talk about it, and then after we finish talking about it, he started telling me about what he do and all this now on YouTube and this and that. So as he's telling me, he talked to me, I'm now telling him all the stuff that I've learned, and then all the apps that I was able to start grabbing and getting and all this and that, and I give him some of the apps that I have, and and then in conversation, he was like, well, shoot, if you're getting all this content and you grabbing all this stuff, he said, maybe you should share it with the people and start your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this dude crazy. Ain't no way I'm gonna do what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? So, but the next time I talk to him, he says it again. Maybe you need to start your channel. He's like, man, you got a lot of content. You grabbing this and that. He said, there's a lot of YouTubers that's out here that don't have some of the apps that you have. You should, for real, start your channel. Mm-hmm. Me, I'm thinking it's a mistake. He tripping, something wrong with him. So I decided to go, what? It don't hurt to try. So King was like, after the conversation, King was like, yeah, you should try. If you need help, I got you. I'm going to do this and that. And I'm like, all right, So my first video, which is funny, the people that know me know I do everything from my phone. So my first video, I'm videotaping. I'm in front of my TV. I got my phone, boom, right there. I'm steady filming this and that. And the funny part about it was I'm filming, my hands steady going like this. So everything's moving, jumping, this and that. And so of course, boom, I'll do my first video. And then after that, I do a couple other videos, and just from the title of the videos, and I'm not knowing at this point in time that the title will actually bring people in. I'm not knowing that. I'm just doing it, and next thing you know, I started getting hits on the videos, and I'm just like, whoa, hey, you know what I'm saying? So, and then from when it started that, then I started a relationship actually with Dale. And then when I started a relationship with Dale, it was me and Dale, and it was always Real, but I never knew who Real was. I didn't know who she was or any of that. So, but she came there, and it was me, him, we was talking, we would always be in Hangouts. Again, Hangouts became was new to me. All this stuff was new to me. So me talking to him this and that, and next thing you know, out of Dale's mouth, he like, you know what? We should, we should start a team. And me and Real looking at each other like, what? He like, yeah, we should start a team. We should, me, you, and Bo. We should do a team with this and that, help each other, help the people. I'm like, yeah, that actually be a good idea. And me and Real still looking like, yeah, okay, whatever. So when he talking about it, me and Real, the funny part about me and Real was we both had like maybe 100, 200 people subscribe to us, maybe if that. And me looking at other YouTubers, like how big they was, remember this and that. So I knew I couldn't catch them. But then me and Real started a competition, and me and Real started a competition as far as
I remember that.
Yeah, we was like, let's see who gets there first and this and that. And so me and her started, putting up videos to try to see how many times they get hit and all this and that. And it was so happened, I can't remember what video it was, but I did a video and that joker got hit and it went viral. And then Tech in the bathroom, like I said, I wasn't friends with Tech or none of this and that yet, but Tech hit my video and was like, hey, your video is viral, this and that. So he ended up hitting me on Facebook and was like, your video viral, this and that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so when I went, and I'm like, what the crap? So I see all these people, on my video, and they follow my video and they subscribe to me and all this and that. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then Dale was like, shoot, you should start making it when you find stuff like that, make it breaking news. And the next video that came out that was breaking news. And once I put breaking news on it, that joke went viral. So I had like about 3 or 4 different videos that I had breaking news on that made me blow up. But you got to think about it. We couldn't go live then. Me and Real, we couldn't go live. We couldn't get on to go live, but we can get on somebody else's live, but we couldn't go live. Mm-hmm. So once you look at the terms and the conditions of that part of YouTube, then, we look at everybody now and we was like, well, I can't speak for Real, but I'm speaking for me. I got a little envy to look at like, wait a minute, dude, I went through over the river and through the woods to get to being live. Because it was always a big like, man, for real, I'm able to go live. And then when the super chat came up, I was like, man, I got a super chat. Everything was an eye for me because of the way we went through it to go get it. You know what I'm saying? So for once, the accomplishment for me was like, I got there. Or my first little $2, I was like, hey, wait a minute, how you do that? And then I had to go read like, oh, okay, super chat, this, that, and that. So I would have to go certain stuff I didn't know. I wouldn't let people know that I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? When it came to certain things, and then once I found it out, or once I asked Dale or Real, then they would tell me, and then I would be like, oh, okay. But I think the best thing that ever happened to me with YouTube was me being real from the jump. Mm-hmm. Me being real from the jump, me letting people know who I am, how I get down, and all this and that, and then me being myself. I think that was the best thing for me. I didn't come in as being a character of being, let me be somebody else, or let me be this way. So then that way I didn't have to carry that persona all the way through. No, I've been me, and most people that have followed me and know me, they know I'm gonna be me regardless of whatever it is, through YouTube. And then I've run across some people that have been good. I've run across some people that's been bad. You think about it. When it comes to Cody, I was a little rough around the edges to where I didn't know a lot about it. So I had other people like, oh, well, I'll make you a build. I'll do this and that, and I'll charge you. Me not knowing, I'm paying these people to make me a build. Not only am I paying them, I'm giving them money to keep it updated, to fix it, and all this and that. And then you got to think about it. I bumped into one person who was like, oh, okay, well, I'll do it for you. And they do, okay, how much I owe you? Huh? What do you mean how much I owe you? Right. And they went by what you went by next level. They was like, dude, you shouted me out. You put my build out there. Why would I charge you? And in my head, I'm going, everybody else is charging me. What do you mean? Why wouldn't I pay you? You know what I'm saying? So he was like, nah, you get it. And then the funny part about it, here's the part that's funny. Once he did that, then rohas, Bo, what do you need help with? This is that. I got you. This is that. So he started showing me stuff that I didn't know about Cody. So then he started helping me with this and showing me how to do this and that. And in my head, I'm going, so I guess everybody is not about the money. You know what I'm saying? Because me, I've always thought I had always thought when it came to somebody doing something or somebody helping me, you know, it was about let me get paid or I need the money for this. Because you got to think about it. Well, when I started, they wasn't showing you anything.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't showing you nothing. They wasn't trying to teach you nothing. They wasn't none of that. It was all about if you want it done, this is what it's gonna go.
Yeah, I remember all of that, man. It's so I'll say two things. Because I was around, like DVD was even before I was around.
He's been around a long time.
DVD's been around, period. You know, and I remember Superdell said something a few years back when it was just a whole mess with the DVD. Like first he was cool with somebody, and then not cool with somebody. Now he's cool with somebody again. And I remember Superdell, the last thing he said when he was just like, I'm done with this guy. At that point of time, which was way back when, he told him, you know what? He's like, I hope you go back to what you used to do. And before those videos that he was doing, like, hey, check out my app, check out this, check out that, he was actually a really, really good teacher. He used to be
he's knowledgeable. And it's funny because for somebody to tell you that they can't read or they can't this and that, you would think that they're a dummy or they don't know a lot of stuff. But King actually is knowledgeable on doing apps, showing you how to do an app, walking you through certain things. And it's weird. It was weird to me, but then again, it was intriguing because I was going like, dang, how do you say you can't read? Oh, I take that back. He was saying that it wasn't that he said he couldn't read. It was saying that he can't spell. So with him saying he can't spell, it was just weird to me that you're able to read. How are you able to read but you can't spell? That's the part that was throwing me off. Like he would get there and he would read this and that and read it like boom, no problem. I'm like, dude, wait a minute. Because you know, most people that can't spell, they have a problem sounding out words and all this and that. He reads it like no problem. So it's like, how you can't spell? In my head, how you can't spell?
You just trying to trick me.
and that's the part I was trying to think. You just waiting for me trying to call you a dummy so you can try to tell me or something, right? So I'm waiting for the punchline. But it would be weird because it would be like easy words that he'd be like, hey, Bo, how you spell that? And I'd be like, he playing, right? And he'd be like, no, Bo, for real, how you spell that?
Like, be for real. He'll be for real.
So I would, tell him how to spell it, whatever the case may be. But I agree with Dale. And Dale say it now, if he would actually teach the people, it would be beyond numbers as far as how many people would actually follow or subscribe to him because of the knowledge base that he has. And I felt like if he didn't stick to just his stuff and actually talk all the stuff that he actually knows,
right?
Then I think he would have been like, his numbers would be like crazy by now.
He would have been up there. It's it's one of those things because me and DVD used to talk a lot way back when. I'll even throw this out. Back in the Henchmen days, if you know what the Henchmen are.
Yeah. I know what the Henchmen are.
Dude, he was part of the Henchmen at one point. Way back when.
And it's crazy because they hear certain names and it is not. And you got to think, like I said, when I first started, guys, I didn't know who these people were. I would just follow them. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll be like, oh, okay, I like the way he did that, or I like the way he did, you know what I'm saying? So when I actually became a YouTuber, and then when the names actually would come across my chat, or either they bring my name up in another video or this and that, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, how he know me, or how he this and that. And it wasn't that they would just hear me through the grapevine and hearing other stuff. But it's not. And you have to think about it. Back then, it wasn't really that bad. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that bad, but sort of, kind of. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny because I can remember Target starting drama. You know what I'm saying? But he was to the point to where he was telling you, hey, I'm gonna start drama with such and such. So it wasn't like it was a secret. So like, oh, I don't like so and so, this and that. So I'm gonna start this and that and this and that. And he would, start, his little situation with him. But back then, it was, like I said, it was a little bit different. As I got more into YouTube, is when the more and more of the drama started coming, the competition.
I think it's more with the whole drama. I think it's when because I'll say this when so Next Level and I have the podcast. Called Beyond the Streams. We're not like a team. This is a platform that all of us could come in and just talk shit if we want,
Right.
And him and me have done this several times where we just take a step back and we're just like, hey, if you look at the drama, like at certain points of time, like it ain't that bad as it was before. Back then,
yeah,
crap. Like you had, and you know what? And this isn't any disrespect to anybody that's out there. So if you're listening and you get pissed, I apologize right now. I'm not disrespecting, but you had Target, you had Touchtone, you had Solo Man, you had Tech Timaru, you got Husham, Soulless. Like I could probably go about like ASBYT, freaking Top Tutorials.
Yeah,
like I could go about a dozen names of people who were just going at it. And it was like it was almost like rap videos or videos. They're just back and forth.
And if you didn't know who was going against who, if you didn't know who was mad at who, you would get caught in the middle of it.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
Because you ended up watching one side of the video.
Well, the thing of it is me, like when I first started, I wasn't following exactly everybody. I would follow, like say if I was following Rohas, and then if I'm following Rohas, and then Rohas would bring like Touchtone name up or this and that, then I would be like Touchtone. Okay, boom, let me go search who's Touchtone. You know what I'm saying? So then I would bring in Touchtone and I would search him, and then I would look at his videos. So me, when I got caught in the fire of the middle of a lot of stuff, then I resorted back to King. I was like, what the crap is this? All these dudes do is go back and forth with each other and try to figure out who weed whackers is the longer. You know what I'm saying? Mine's longer than yours. Nah, mine's longer than yours. You like because half of their argument sometimes was like y'all arguing about that? You mean y'all beefing about that? You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, is this? And yeah, think about it. Before I knew about the algorithm and you can make money on YouTube and all this, before I even knew any of that, I still didn't think. I thought, you know what I'm saying? They were just doing it for show, bring people to their channel, this and that. I never knew the ins and outs of it. And then when they start arguing about the money part of it, I'm still looking at like, okay, if you got your own people and people are coming to you and you got your own people and people coming to you, I was lost at like, how is there's an argument? You know what I'm saying?
Stay in your own lanes.
Yeah, that part. I'm like, if you're doing your thing, I'm lost at how it becomes an argument. Then it came to the point where, like I said, whose was longer than whose, because it was like, oh, I'm doing this and can't nobody else do this. And I'm like, okay, well, if I leave, then none of y'all won't know how to do this. And I'm like, what the crap? But then in my head, I'm going, well, if he's doing it, then no one else is doing it. You know what I'm saying? There's anybody teaching somebody else how to do it, all this and that. But low key, you had people like Rojas and other people that actually knew how to do it, but I just hadn't bumped into them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I hadn't bumped into them to know that not only is they doing it, they're helping people to learn how to do it.
Learn how to.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really know it like that. So you got to think about it. So when I bumped into your video, that's why your video became so intriguing to me, to where not only that you was doing it, you was just showing people, and then you got a file link. And then at that point in time, file link really hadn't blown up yet. File link actually had blown up to me because of you.
Because of who?
You.
Whoa, shit.
You,
and
Mr.
That's crazy. You got to think about it. The first time I knew about file link, I had bumped into it somewhere else. Boom, I grabbed it. And then when you did your video, I was like, dang, he got a lot of hits on this video. I'm like, let me see what this dude is about.
Right. Because when I did my video, I showed, I think, 3 other big YouTubers following stores. And then that helped those people that followed them find me, I think.
Well, like I said, whatever you put in that joke, it was like, I put it in, boom, and your name popped up. And I'm like, who is this dude? And like I said, I didn't, everybody else I know. I don't know. So I'm looking like, who else is following you? And then there's nobody else that's big that I know following you. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm like, man, let me look at this new video. So then, like I said, when me looking into a video, I'm like, hey, this is a good video. I'm like, man, I'm liking this. I'm like, I'm about to let him know. And then it was to the point that it was funny. When I did the video and I showed it, I never knew that you actually went back and looked at my video until you hit me up and was like, hey, good looking, thanks, this and that. And, you know, like I said, I did the video and I'm like, hey, I got to go follow him. He, you know what I'm saying? And at this point in time, like I said, you hadn't blew up yet. You had just, your video had blew up, but your subscriber count, at least not, hadn't blew up. And it seemed like a little bit after that. And I went back and I was like, dang, wait a minute. He went from here to here. Then he went from here to here. And it was funny because me and Real, people that was close around us, me and Real would go and look at their subscriber count. Mm-hmm. And it was funny because Real was like, hey, Bo, that dude you did the video on, or you did this video about? She was like, I was like, yeah. She was like, he didn't just pass, because at this point in time, Real was in front of me as far as subscribers. And Real was like, Bo, he just didn't pass you. He passed me too. I'm like, what? So I go over there, I check. I'm like, hey, baby. I said, but then Real goes, but Bo, you gotta think about it. Go back to the video that you found. I went back to the video that I found. And we looked, and we was like, golly. So we looked at the numbers of that video, and the numbers are steady going up. Subscribers count is going up. And then Dale was like, yeah. Dale said, if you get something that people like and they can use, and they this and that, you know, people gonna subscribe to you. They're gonna try to figure out what you're doing. They're gonna want to go to you for information like that. And at that point in time, that's all YouTube was about as far as streaming. Mm-hmm. Everybody wanted to subscribe to the person that was giving out knowledge. You know, that was helping you do something. That's who they was following. You know what I'm saying? So actually, when you think about it, even though you probably thought you didn't come in at the right time, you actually came in at the right time, and you came in with the right video to put up. Because when I looked at it, you had other videos, but they was other videos of other stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, he's doing this, he's doing that. And I'm going, this dude is all over the place. But you had videos of other stuff. And then what made it interesting for me was then you started doing more streaming videos. And then as you
start, you don't know.
That part, you don't know. You don't know if you're gonna stay stagnant. You don't know, because you gotta think about that. At one point, you stay stagnant for a second, and then when your numbers start to grow, you're like, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What happened?
For me, after you get over the 1,000, because to me the hardest part was, for me, I don't know about you, but the hardest part for me was to get to just 1,000.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then once you get to 1,000. It becomes easier. You like, boom, they go 2,000, boom, they go 3,000, boom, they go 4,000. So when the numbers start coming, you like it's not as big to you no more until you get to like the double-digit numbers. Then you like, oh, okay, cool. But at that point of just getting there, you like, man, am I gonna ever get to 1,000? You know. But once you get to 1,000, then you start seeing YouTube, then reach out to you, send your email. You need to do this, you need to do that, you need to get this.
Now I will say this. The second thing I was going to say earlier, which is everything that you're talking about right now, which is perfect. I love how it just went with the flow, man. The one thing that I have to say and admit, and I have to pay respect to you, because when it came to giving out knowledge, people, some of the beef back then was like, you need to pay it forward. You need to give respect to wherever you got the knowledge from. And I used to be like, what are you going to do? Put some cliff notes somewhere and said, this person, you know what I mean?
Right.
But what you did was you made it a point at the start of your videos, like, hey, I found this information, big shout out to whoever it was, blah, blah, blah. And then you did your video. And I'm just like, damn. I'm like, dude, this is dope. I'm like, I haven't seen anybody else do something like that they're shouting other people out. Me, I was very anti-file linked. Like me and Nextlevel had this conversation so many times. I hated file link. I'm like, nope, all about coding, screw file link.
Right.
And so for me, when you came and we were talking about the I need that build, like I was like, no, man, like you're helping people out with the videos. So, and with me, like most of my videos way back when was all about Cody stuff, how to get into the settings, how to build stuff, like how to do it from scratch. Like I used to really dissect the crap out of stuff. Right. And I'd be like, hey, anybody wants help, just message me. And the one thing I told you and what you said earlier was, I was like, no, dude, like don't pay me. Like we're good, dude. Like, if I come out to Vegas, buy me a beer. How about that?
Yeah. And the part that's crazy is you would when I found that other person, and then when I bumped into Rojas, it was crazy because there was more other people that actually would help you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I started bumping into more people. It was like, nah, you help me with this, I help you with that. And I'm like, what the crap? I'm like, why I couldn't find this in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? Why I couldn't run across those type of people in the beginning? And then you started to see, and me, I'm not gonna say they were shady. It was just, to me, it was just weird that I think majority of people got mad at the people that actually want to just generally help people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was more or less like, why are you helping them when you can get paid for helping them? And I'm not saying don't get paid for helping somebody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if that's what you want, then I have no problem with that. But don't get mad at somebody else because they said, hey, I'm going to give out this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to look at it too. You got to look at why Rojas decided to say, oh, I'm going to help you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So without a payment. You know what I'm saying? That's not saying Rojas help everybody without payment, but you got to think about it. Why he said, "Oh, I'm going to help this guy," because the guy that helped me, that did my second build, that he helped me do it because the other person, I'm not paying him no more. So when the other person did it, the part that was crazy was the person that did my first build. It took him like almost a week to do it. The other dude that did my second build, he was done like that. And it was weird because he was like, I'm gonna get with you the next day. And before my lunch at work, he hit me with some, and it was funny, he hit me with some stuff in my messenger, and I'm going, what is that? And he was like, that's your bill. I'm like, what? I said, you done? He was like, I'm done. I click it, boom, bill pops up. I'm like, whoa, this is fire. I mean, so me going into it, me clicking it and me licking it, it was weird to me because like I said, this other person I'm paying, it took him longer for me to get it. This person that did it for free, he did it like that. And I was like, once he was done, I was like, okay, cool. How much do I owe you? He was like, what? Really? I'm like, yeah, what do I owe you? You know, and he was like, come on, Bo, really? He said, you put my bill on the map. And it was funny because that guy, I found him like I found you next level. Just me being nosy, me searching stuff. And you got to think about it. I tell everybody, when I first started with YouTube, I was nosy. I tell people I was nosy. The reason why I say I was nosy because I was so much into wanting to get knowledge. And me getting the knowledge, I'm looking at this person's video, that person's video, and as I'm looking at the videos, I'm getting names. Who they talking about, who they mad at, who they this and that. But I'm steady getting, and that's how I found a lot of people. I found a lot of people through other people, but they not knowing it. And then with them not knowing it, of course, I never really said, oh, I follow him or oh, I this and that. Because to me, at that point in time, it wasn't about me following, me saying I follow this person. It was just about me getting the knowledge. And 100%. Then within me getting the knowledge, I learned, hey, man, we small. With us being small, only way we can get bigger is if I put that person's name out there. You know what I'm saying? And so when it came to you next level, I had no problem going, hey, I got this video from such and such, boom, go follow him. He got a nasty looking video over there. If you don't follow him, y'all need to whoop it. Go follow him. You know what I'm saying? So within that, it was good. And you got to think about it. With me, the one thing that Rojas said about beginning of my videos, if you remember when I first got into video, my first beginning of my video, I was always say, what's good, YouTube land? And when I finish with that, I will bust them with whoever I got the idea from. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm already loud, and they already looking like, dang, this dude is loud. Like, what's up? Turn down real quick. See what you talking about? So, when I went into that, and I would say where I got it from, you had no choice but to, you know what I'm saying? And then I started learning to be able to then like, send people video, how I put their name in there. And then I started learning a little bit like, this is how you put their name in there. This is how you put this in there. This is how you put that in there. So as I went, I was gradually learning. And like I said, from people like Rojas at next level. That's why I said, just because somebody's below you doesn't mean you can't learn from them.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? You can't learn from them. But then you got to think about it. If you ain't doing what you're supposed to, they'll pass you. Because like I said, for you to pass me in real, we looking like, what the hell? What? He what? and it was funny because each week your subscriber count was continually to grow and
Well,
grow.
that was when I had my
grow.
big boom. Like
Right,
my
right,
subscriber
right.
count hasn't really grown in like what 3 years.
But you got to think about it. It takes something like that for it to blow up because you got to think about it. When Trim went down, that's when I had my big boom.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I had my big surge of people that go in and they hit you this and that because, like I said, they didn't, for whatever reason, big YouTubers, they wouldn't say, "Hey, go follow nxtlvltech."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Go follow him, or I got this idea from him, or I this and that. And if you think about it, and I'm gonna say it again for all y'all big YouTubers that's listening to me, how many of y'all that actually saw a video from a small YouTuber and y'all actually gave them some love?
Mm-hmm.
I doubt any of them. I doubted any of them did. You know what I'm saying? I doubted any of them did. And actually said, I got the idea or I got this video from them because you got to think about it. Their numbers are so big. They do a video. What will make them sick? You know what I'm saying? That's why I said to me, I felt like they wouldn't want you to catch them. Where to me, it didn't bother me if somebody caught me, passed me, or whatever the case may be. I was just amazed at the growth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was amazed at the growth, and I was amazed at how their numbers go from 5 to 1,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa, what did it? So he would go look and see like, what did it? Like what, you know what I'm saying? Me and Real was always into what video made your numbers go up. You know what I'm
saying? There's usually two things, right? There's who you know and there's what you know, right? Mm-hmm. And they kind of go hand in hand because if you don't know anything, it doesn't matter who you know.
That
you know
part.
What I mean?
That part.
So,
and then you would know, then people will know. And if you think about it, that's why I always say, I'm going to give you so-and-so's name to go follow them. But whatever they do once you get over there on their channel, that's for you to keep them. It ain't up to me. I'm just going to tell y'all to go over there, go follow that person. Once you get over there, it's up to you then to keep them people over there on your channel. And I love when I used to say that because it was also said to me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is knows, and then but then we had a stint though, Rohas, at one point to where we did started having people go, hey, go follow, go follow Bo, go follow Next Level, go follow Rohas, and then it went into a point to, and then it died back down again. But it's crazy that you got other people that are intimidated of other YouTubers, and it shouldn't be that way because at the end of the day, we all teaching,
right?
Yeah. So I remember I started to do the whole when you were paying it forward, and because I wasn't that much. I think at that point I was maybe like at 30,000-40,000 subs. It was right before it really freaking went over, And I was like, I'm like, that's actually not a bad idea. And you were saying, I want to start doing interviews. And you message me, you're like, hey, Rohas, you want to come in and be my first? I'm just like, hell yeah, dude, that'll be awesome. let me get on there, man. Let me get on there.
And it was funny because I thought he was going to be like, no. But when he said, yeah, I was like, for real?
I was like, yeah, dude, let's do it, man. That's all. It was cool. And I remember like ever since then, ever since I've found specific videos that I'm just like, dude, this is actually really good. There will be times, well, before YouTube shut the other channel down, I'm still fighting with them. They said they're fixing it supposedly, but
yeah, okay. I hope so.
It's been 9 months,
Yeah, that part.
Yeah. So I started to doing, what kind of English is that? I started to do dedicated videos on people. So I would be like, hey, like breaking news, Bo Knows is interviewing blah blah blah, and the whole video would just be like, hey, this is what he's doing, this is how he's doing it, go check it out, it's going to happen pretty soon, or it's about to happen, or just happened. With Next Level, as much as I hated filing, I would do the videos of this is the biggest filing store that I hate that you could go find.
Your numbers got ugly, huh?
Yeah.
and it was crazy because when you put in certain things in your title, when you put certain people in your title, even in the tags, you put their names in the tags and this and that, it brought attention to people, but then it also brought people over there to go, let me see what it's about. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I learned that as well, you know, before I went like boom, because at one point I was like boom, and the other point when I went level part of it, and it was crazy because the level part of it was more of a lot of people don't know it. Some of it was to let people know that it wasn't about the money for me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody made it like you had other people like, oh, he about the money, he this and that. And I'm like, dude, I make good money at my job. I'm not, it's not about, to me, YouTube is what it is. It's a hobby for me. I get on, I have fun, I enjoy what I'm doing. It's not about a competition for me. Some of y'all, YouTube is y'all livelihood. It's not my livelihood. No matter how much you try to say, oh, he's on here or he's mad about. No, I'm mad about because and this with this y'all bringing me on, it's easy for me to let y'all know. It wasn't that I was mad that you took something or you did this and that from me. It was to the point to where I was always taught to fix it in the background, so that way we don't have to talk about it up front. So if you don't want to fix it in the background, and then you bring my name into something, then of course I gotta defend my name. You know what I'm saying? So half the time when I came out about anything, it was more or less me defending my name. Like, boom, this is what it is, whatever the case may be. I'm done with it. It's, you know what I'm saying? So if everybody else want to listen to whatever else that other person is saying, cool. But I'm always open to it if you want to come here to come talk to me. You want to come, since you want to make it public and get everybody into it, I'm here. Let's deal with it. You know what I'm saying? How many people came over and dealt with me about it that I had a situation with? Didn't too many of them come over to come have a situation with me, because then they would actually got exposed as far as the way it really went.
You know what? It wasn't even just situations with you, because of your personality. A lot of people went to you for advice or conversations or just to find out how to deal with other people. I ain't gonna lie, like Rojas and myself will come talk to you about other people before. You know what I mean? Because
right, and it's like I said, people laugh at when I say it, but I actually, like I said, I deal with people, me versus me. And they be like, what that mean? What does that mean? So if I'm doing Rojas and I'm looking at Rojas as me, then it's easy for me to do a Rojas. Same thing with you, next level tech. If I'm dealing with people and I'm looking at them as they me, and it's easy for me to deal with them and also listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Because the hardest thing for anybody to do is what? Is listen. You got to think about it. When we arguing and we back and forth with somebody, we can't hear what the other person is saying because we're so much trying to defend ourselves. You know what I'm saying? When if you actually listen to what they're saying, then you can go, dang, you know what? He got a point, or she got a point. Before you rebuttal back, like, because that's usually what it is. We only hear bits and pieces of what somebody says, and then the negative part that we hear, then we're ready to go back to shoot back at them and talk back crazy to them. It's to the point where if you listen to everything that person said, it might have made sense as far as what they trying to say back to you before you actually rebuttal back. So when people talking to me, I try to count, and then I'm also listening before I come back. You know what I'm saying? And then some people, which y'all both know, some people you can't defend. No matter what's going on, you can't defend them because they wrong.
A tomato is going to be a tomato. You can't make it something else.
That part of it. That part of it. So when the more people came at me, it's about, I'm going to say 70% of the people that came to me about something, they came to me about DVD King. And the 30% was about other YouTubers on, like you said, next level, how to fix this, or have you ever dealt with them, or have you this and that. But here's my biggest thing. Here's my biggest thing that for me, when it comes to people, and I'm gonna use it as a cartoon form. I'm more or less like Aladdin. When he stuck his hand out and said, "Do you trust me?" When I deal with people, that's the way I am with everybody. You know what I'm saying? If we in the background. And if I got to record you, if I got to write down notes, if I got to do all this and that, why am I dealing with you? I'm going to say it again. If we in the background and you teaching me something, or I'm teaching you something, or I'm telling you something, you telling me something, if I got to record you, if I got to write this down, oh, he said this is that. Or if we doing a business transaction and I got a screenshot everything and I'm doing that, why am I dealing with you? If I can't trust you, why am I dealing with you? You got to think about it. When me and Rojas talk, there's never been to the point to where I've ever felt like I can't trust Rojas. And me and Rojas done talked about a little bit of everything.
Yep.
and everybody. But it's the point to where he'll tell you the stuff that he's told me and stuff I've told him. He haven't heard nobody else come back to him and go, hey, Bo told me. Hey, Bo said. Because that's not how I get down. Me and Rojas talking, that's what it's going to be about. Yeah. I don't go back and go, hey, Dale, hey, Real, hey. No, it's me and Rojas. Same thing with the next level. We talking, that's going to be much me and you. You're not going to hear back, hey, Bo said. You know what I'm saying? So when people come at me about so-and-so said, okay, well, let them come tell me. If they can't tell me, I ain't trying to hear what you talking about. Yep. You know, hey, did you know so-and-so said they don't like you? Okay, but they never told me that. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny that you say that because back, we were talking about back then, all the YouTubers, and then it kind of died off. And then as you get bigger, you start seeing some of the drama come towards you. What I'm noticing now, and so my channel got shut down, and I've noticed that I'm just like, shit, I'm not subscribed to a lot of people that I wasn't before, so I'm kind of like out of the loop half the time. Next Level and I are kind of just doing our thing with the podcast, just researching, looking stuff up. We almost don't have time really to keep up with stuff, And one thing I did notice that I'm just like, and it made me go to certain YouTubers, certain channels. I'm just like, oh shit, I'm not subscribed to these guys. Boom, let me come back, because like it's almost like out of sight, out of mind. You just forget about it, I've noticed that there are certain subscribers that are stirring the pot.
Say it again, Rojas, because we just said that. We just said that.
I was like, yo, where you going with this?
That part.
There are certain subscribers that are stirring the pot. And you know what? I'll do one better for you. I know you got your certain subs. Next Level's got his subs. Superdell, me, all of us got our certain subs, and we always have those few that are super loyal that will be like, dude, did you hear what they said?
Man, that part. And it's like, they in your inbox, hey, did you hear so-and-so saying? You like, what? And that's the part that's crazy, because if they follow you, they go, if your name come up or somebody else's name come up that they're gonna hit you like, hey, and you like going, huh? And what does it do? It make you go over there to go listen to that video.
Yeah, and it's like, wait a minute, how do you know that I'm talking about Bo? Do you think I'm like, think about it like this. Bo is a really good learner and a really good teacher. There's some people out there that just like to throw shit out of their ass and will make a video and say, like, I don't know, like, again, there's one particular YouTuber right now that there's certain like Free Tech, Lee TV, like all those guys just really dislike this guy. And every time I see this video, I'm like, dude, this guy has so much wrong information. And I've done a few videos trying to explain it. Like, no, what he's saying is wrong. It's more of a scare tactic. And then I'll get, so long story short. And you know what? I'm going to throw a name out. And if he gets mad, sorry, Charlie. So this is what I'll say. We were talking about we were talking about something about just getting the wrong information sometimes. And we were legit talking, and we even said the name. We were legit talking about Curiosity Cafe. Straight up. And this person, and I'll name him in a second, jumps in the convo like already past it, where we're already like deep into it. So it's not like we're saying like, hey, Curiosity Cafe did this, Curiosity Cafe did this, Curiosity Cafe did this, Curiosity Cafe. It's like we don't need to say his name over and over and over and over and over.
Right.
If you missed it, rewind the damn video and you can hear
that part. That part.
So we get oh man, I know I don't think he's gonna be listening this far in, but maybe I'll tag him and then I'll timestamp it. GoPro Donnie loves to freaking stir.
Oh yeah, he gonna stir the pot.
And one of the things I had a subscriber that said, dude, they're talking about you guys. And I'm just like, who? and they're like, well, GoPro said this, and they're saying like, oh, is DST gonna start beef with Beyond the Streams? I'm like, what beef? Like
that part. That part. Wait a minute. Here's the part that's crazy. When it came up on my chat, you see the way I did it, right? Who's Beyond the Streams? What are you guys talking about? You know what I'm saying? If you watch my video, that's the way I play it off. I know who it is, but I'm going, Beyond the Streams, what? Who? What are you talking about? So J Mac, with his retarded butt, he followed behind me. Like, yeah, who is that? Isn't that? So I'm texting him in the chat, laugh out loud. You bird. I'm like, you wasn't supposed to follow me, but he like, yeah, who is that? So I mean, because you got to think about it. We're gonna have a beef with y'all for what?
For what?
It's like, are we gonna have
think about it? The reason why I went that way, but the reason why I went that way is because it came from, and I'm gonna say names. It came from MS7, us having issues with them, and then when it came over with Philly came with A, and then it came to the point to where then it was like, oh, so who's left?
Who's left?
You know what I'm saying? Who's left? So is y'all gonna have a beef with them, or y'all? But you got, here's the thing with us. We don't go looking for beefs or going out to go mess with people. We care less about it. To be honest with y'all, we care less about it. My thing is, if you guys doing good, I love it. If MF7 is doing good, I love it. Same thing with Philly. If they doing good, I love it. But one thing LJ said that I love about what LJ said, and I totally agree. If Philly got an issue with Dale, then have that issue with Dale. When you bring team into it, now you're talking about Bo, you're talking about LJ, you're talking about Real, you're talking about J-Mac. You're bringing all of us into it. When you say team, because we're part of a team. So we part of a team. If you got your beef with Dale, have your beef with Dale. If you got your beef with me, have your beef with me. But as soon as you say Bo and DST, then now you brought all of us into it.
Yep.
When we don't have an issue with you, because most people don't get, and most people trying to understand. In the beginning, you said Dale had an issue with DVD. I'm part of DST. Did I ever stop my relationship with DVD and Dale? They both my boys. Hey, I tell them both, hey, y'all figure that out. It would be times where they'll be on the show, King come in, they'll leave.
Yeah, I remember those times.
I wouldn't say anything, but at the end of the day, I understood it. You know that? Same thing with King. King would be on this and that. They'll pop in, King would leave. You know what I'm saying? Again, it didn't bother me because my thing is y'all want to have to figure out how to get along because at the end of the day, it's about teaching the end users. If y'all can't get on without talking to each other, then I'm good with that because you got to think about it. I'm gonna make an example, even though I screwed up. I'm gonna make an example to where I got on somebody else's show, and when I got on somebody else's show, the other person they spoke to me, and me, I'm gonna say it was my bad. I was like, don't speak to me like we cool, and I shouldn't have went there. I should have left it alone. I should have went ahead and went somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I should have either acted like I didn't hear him or kept on talking. But and the funny part, here's the part that was funny. The person that brought me on, which I'm gonna say the person who brought me on, but I'm not gonna say who I had to beef with. Jug brought me on, and so when Jug brought me on, the funny part was, you know, Jug doing this thing, this and that, and then when I make my statement like, "Hey, don't act like we cool, don't be talking to me, don't this and that," Jug like. Huh? Like what? So me and him had a couple words, and the thing that I love about Jug was like, hey, check it out, hey, you know. So he stopped me from talking. He stopped the other person from talking. He said, "Look, I don't know what's going on, but while I'm conducting my show, y'all need to chill out. If y'all can't chill out, I'm gonna kick both of y'all out." And he said, because I like you and I like you. But if y'all can't figure it out, I'm gonna kick both of y'all out. And the thing that I loved about it was the way he handled it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that he so much checked me or the other person. It was just for the point to where, hey, y'all gonna respect my channel. If y'all can't do what y'all doing, then cool. And like I said, me, I had no problem with that. My issue was keep doing what you're doing. Don't speak to me on this live chat like we cool, because we not. Don't come on, man. Don't fake the funk like we cool. It's 1, 2, 3, you know, and we not. You know what I'm saying? Don't come on like, hey, Bo. Dude, really? Did you just speak to me? When you talking crazy to me, yesterday. You talking smack about me and you this and that, and now we get on Jug Show and you acting like we just 2 peas in the pot.
Homies, yeah.
Yeah, big dogs and all that. So that was the part that got me. And like I said, afterwards, I apologized to Jug. You know, I texted him and I told him, you know, my bad, I was wrong. You know, I said, I'm not even going to speak about the other person. Me, I was wrong because I should have handled it a lot different. I should just probably not say nothing and then made you figure out, like, why don't I speak to him? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, because everybody else in the chat was lost too.
Who was the, I forget who it was. And I don't want to throw a name out because I just don't remember who it was, but it was a female when there was all kinds of there was like arguments going back and forth and it was like all kinds of craziness. This person. I was even involved in one of the arguments like DVD and but it was a whole bunch of different situations. Some of it was related, some of it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a female that said, you men, and it was literally because it was just the guys that was just doing all this crap. She's like, you men need to learn to stop and listen.
Mm-hmm.
And just literally listen why the other person's pissed. And then if it makes sense, address it to that person behind the scenes if you have to. If it doesn't, just leave it alone. Like, what's the point?
And that's the easy part about it to me. That's the easiest part about it to me. That's why I said, if you listen to sometimes when somebody's saying they mad about something, then hear it. But me, I don't like, to be honest, I don't like to get on my channel to say I'm mad at rohas. I'm at the next level. I don't like getting on my channel doing that. I rather, like I said, if I had an issue with you, I'd rather be able to hit you up like, rohas, what happened? What's such and such? Like, for real? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then if we go back and we spat it out, boom, we're done. Mm-hmm. Same thing with next level. I'd rather us do whatever we got to do and we're done. I don't see why it has to get to the forefront about, oh, me and rohas mad at each other. Y'all check it out. You know,
check it out.
Not only that, who's right, who's wrong? It doesn't really matter because some people, they just love drama. Love it. Mm-hmm. And I don't get why.
It goes back to something that you said in the beginning of this interview, where we're nosy when we start, right? And we're nosy when we start for a couple different reasons. We need to learn, right? And a lot of times when we start, we're nervous. We don't know how to represent ourselves. We don't know who we are yet, right? So by us being nosy, we kind of feel what we like, what we don't like, and who we want to be, right? And just because you're watching something and you disagree with them doesn't mean that it's drama. It's perspective. And that perspective can spark creativity, right? And there's a certain way that you represent your creativity without being dramatic about it. And it's as simple as that, right? Like, I could have a disagreement with you, you could have a disagreement with me, and we could both make 2 separate videos on the same topic, and it could still be civil.
That part. But certain people don't realize that, though. You said, what? Oh, okay, I'm doing another video. Like, no, really? So, and here's what's the weirdest stuff to me. You have people that's cool, something happened, and then they go, oh, it was so-and-so's fault. You're like, what? You got to think about it. We just ran across that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say names. You had Philly Cable Dave, you had Dale. No issues. They're cool. They're shouting each other's names out. Cool. You know, so where it went left was Philly's live. They'll pop in. Hey, how y'all doing? He leaves. He leaves from the video. Even though Philly don't know that Dale left, he's still in there. Dale is gone. Philly thinks Dale is still in there, but Dale is not. He gone. Dale's, hey, dropping some love to you, this and that. Hey, the people in the chat, they gone. So happened, Philly gets a troll. Now, the same troll that made people leave Philly's chat, then when Dale does his video the next day, this same troll goes over to Dale's chat. So when this troll goes over there, this troll was trolling Philly, but when he went over to Dale, he didn't troll Dale. He asked Dale questions. Dale answered the questions. Philly like, whoa, wow, really? We looking like, why is he saying wow? Like, what's going on? We going up and down the chat like, did I miss something? We looking like, did I miss something? It's not. Next thing you know, Flea does a video. He got Dale name in it, you know. And the thing that's crazy is, in his head, because Dale spoke to this dude and helped this dude out with the question, he felt like Dale brought this troll over to his channel.
Mm-hmm.
The part that fathoms me and the part that beats me up is this. You and Dale are cool. Why would Dale send this troll over there again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for no reason.
I mean, for no reason. And then, wait a minute. Here's the sad part about it. This troll is not this troll in Philly. He's trolling the women in his chat.
Mm.
So he's trying to get at the women and talk to these women in his chat. So my thing is, you two guys end up arguing and fighting over something
that's not even related to you two guys
at all. At all. It's just a troll. You know what I'm saying? So and so the part that got me was it went from, okay, I believe that it wasn't Dale, but I believe Dale knew the person. Huh? I believe Dale sent them over there. I believe it's somebody on his team. What the? So in my head, I'm going, so now you done brought us into it. Not only that you done brought us into it, which male on our team is going to go over to anybody's chat to talk to the women the way the troll was talking to the women? That's the part that I was lost at. Like, which one of us would go over there and talk to the women the way this troll would talk to the women? Like, I don't see me doing it. As bad as J Mac is, I don't even see J Mac over there doing it. LJ, come on, man. Tech, really? You know what I'm saying? So Tech married, LJ married. You know, only ones who are not married is me and J Mac, but I don't see me or J Mac going over there to go talk crazy to women in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
But Philly was stretching. But the part that made it sad was, even though he was stretching, when Dale saw the video, Dale called Philly. Mm-hmm. He didn't answer. Dale left him a message. He didn't message back. Oh, no, I'm done. You know, I'm cool. I thought we was better than that. Okay, listen to what you just said. You thought y'all was better than that. Y'all are better than that. You making it a situation that you don't have to make it a situation. Mm-hmm. It was easy for you to pick up the phone. But what's crazy is if that situation happened with me and Rohas, I didn't text Rohas. Like, Rohas, this dude was just in my chat. Do you know this dude? Mm-hmm. And it'd have been easy. Either yeah, Bo, I know him, or either Bo, no, I don't. It was just a subscriber came in, I asked you this question. That to me would have been done.
Yeah,
done. For real.
And that's a good point. That's a good point, because when we were just talking about the whole thing about like, you were like, who's beyond the streams? I don't know who that is. Or like, oh, you guys are having beef now because you're both live. Mm-hmm. Like, all of a sudden, and because I went back, because they were just like, dude, you should go check it out. So I was just listening to it, and I'm just like, I'm not taking it as, I'm like they're just acting like whatever about it. I'm like, but I'm not taking it as anything. I'm like, if anything, I maybe Bo might even hit me up and say, hey, dude, everything cool with us, or what's up? Because we've done that to each other already.
Right. But I didn't, when he said it, there was nothing for me to hit you or Next Level Up about, because I don't have an issue with you or Next Level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as far as I knew,
yeah.
I didn't have a situation with J Mac. You know what I'm saying?
And see, what was interesting is when our podcast came up, all of a sudden you started getting some spam messages. Like,
yeah, I did. Right? I had a bunch of them. But you got to think about it. I never said, oh, it's coming from you guys.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. And then for me to go live, when you guys went live, and I found out later that you guys went live, it didn't bother me, because I'm just not coming back. So me just not coming back, I didn't. You got to think about it. Even Philly said it. Well, I'm so used to you and J Mac coming on at this time, and you guys didn't come on this time, so I was going to go on. But you know what I'm saying? And my thing is, if I bump into any of y'all, I don't take it as a disrespect. I take it as me trying to get back into doing YouTube, and then with me trying to get back into doing it, I don't take it as that, because I know y'all. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Not only do I know y'all character. I'm like,
yeah, we're not vindictive.
I'm like, Rohas Next Level is not going to be like, oh, Bo live, let me go live. Let's go. I'm knowing that. I'm like, they wouldn't do me that way. They know I wouldn't do them that way. I wouldn't be like, oh, they live. Let me mess up they live and see how many people I can get to come over here. I'm like,
and let me ask you a question. So YouTube has changed over the course of the last year and a half. So YouTubers have changed in the last year and a half. And I feel like our content for everybody's channel is so different. It's so different.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's real minimal. It's real minimal.
Right?
But because we only even going live, we still only can speak about certain things.
Yep.
But my minimal is different from your minimal.
That part. And yeah, but we have to be more creative. And it's funny that y'all talk about interviews, and I'm in an interview. I actually love this context of it because you can bring this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So me bringing the interviews, I still might end up bringing back interviews, but I also might bring back the comedy shows.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Other little stuff that I was doing, the other little stuff I was doing that wouldn't mess up the channel. I can actually see myself bringing those type of things back. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just about being creative, but within being creative, I'm not going to hate on Beyond the Streams. I'm not going to hate on Philly. I'm not going to hate on MS7 because it takes courage.
Whoa. I gotta ask though. Is that level up right next to you throwing some shade? Is that subliminal messaging right there? I see that level up.
And you gotta think about it. People will take that and they'll twist it. And you be like, dude, if you knew me, Rohas, and nxtlvltech, and that's the part that's crazy. We able to talk to each other. Mm-hmm. If I do something that I feel like that's wrong, or Rohas feel like I did something that's wrong, Rohas want to get in contact with me. Same thing with nxtlvl. They're gonna get in contact with me. They're not gonna just do a video and be like, Bo, da 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 da. No, they're gonna come, hey, Bo, what's up? What happened? You good? You know what I'm saying? And I don't have a problem with that, but you gotta think about it. Here's what other people don't have. We have built something to where you can able to come knock on my door. Mm-hmm. That's vice versa with me. I'm comfortable enough. If I feel like y'all said something on the line, or I feel like something that rubbed me the wrong way, I'm easy to go, hey, Rohas, what's up? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we're able to talk to each other about it without it blowing up.
Right.
Without us beating each other up. And that's the good thing about it. We both can be men and say, hey, okay, cool, and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? You got other people that's not gonna be cool with it, do a video, and ain't said a word to y'all, but do a video. Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't be going, okay, we was talking, but we wasn't talking about them or him or her. So why are they talking about us? You know what I'm saying?
And it's just so crazy how shit gets twisted so much. Like I've seen beef, right? And I'm like, okay, cool, they're just whatever, it's over there. And then next thing I hear, it's like, oh, they're talking about you. And I'm like, what? What'd I do?
Yeah, how did I get in the mix of it? You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the thing. Even when somebody's fighting with J Mac or Dale or whoever, and that's the first thing come out of my mouth when they bring us into it. How did I get into it? You mad at Dale? How I get into it?
I'm just in my own little corner doing my own little thing. Shit.
Yeah, that's what people that happens when you're in part of a team or a group is always, oh, let's involve the group. When the group don't really need to be involved. If you and this person have an issue, y'all deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't need to involve us because the good thing I like about DST is this. If you notice, every last one of us can be able to handle our own self without needing backup. You know what I'm saying? We had to make sure, you know, even with J Mac, everybody tried to say, oh, J Mac was the weakest link when it came to doing live, but it had to go to the point to where if you guys followed us enough, you notice there's times that I left J Mac on there by himself. Just to see if he can handle it. Just to see what's going to happen. To see what he can do. See if he can be able to deal with the chat. See if he can talk. See if he can, you know what I'm saying? And it was funny because at first I didn't really look at it like that. I've always went on there and there was one point in time we was in the background. Oh, we finna go live. It was on J Mac's channel. J Mac started. I was finna go over there. They said, no. Hold on. I'm like, what's up, dude? I'm thinking he got to ask me something. He said, no, just hold on. I'm like, what am I holding on for? Now, this see what J Mac do. And it was funny because J Mac was looking for me like, okay, Bo's supposed to be coming on, y'all, but you know, so he ended up, you know, running the show, and he started talking to this and that, and Dale was like, okay, I just wanted to see, you know, will he be able to run the show because I get emails, I get texts, you know, everybody going, even though J Mac's on there, is mainly Bo's show, and you know, I told Dale I get those emails and this and that too. I said, but if they really listen, J Mac give a lot of information. I said, even though I do majority of the talking. J-Mac gives out information. You know what I'm saying? He gives out information. He this is that. I said, you just have to listen to it, and then later, people start going, okay, cool. He does, because I had other YouTubers like, oh, J-Mac, you wouldn't have the numbers or you wouldn't this and that if it wasn't for Bo and this and that. But when you think about it, when you really think about it, that's what we're supposed to do for each other anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know
Help
what
each
I'm
other
saying?
out.
If so-and-so numbers is low, I'm supposed to help J-Mac numbers get up. If not, then what type of teammate am I? You know what I'm saying? Same thing with anybody that I'm shouting their name out. I'm shouting their name out because I want them to get subscribers. I want them to grow. That's what I try to tell people when I'm dealing with other people. I'm hating on you for what? I can learn from you. You know what I'm saying? You can teach me something. I can teach you something.
Even if somebody gives you all the wrong information, you can still learn from them.
That part. Say it again. And that's the part that people don't get. When people do something and it's totally wrong, then the good thing I love about what nxtlvltech said, if you're giving out something and it's totally wrong, then that's easy for me because I can go, okay, cool. When I do my video, I know to not do it that way.
But it sparks you to do your own research.
Wait a minute. And that's the main thing DST is based on. Do your research. You know what I'm saying? We say it all the time. You got to think about it. Even when people that beef with us, what do we say? Hey, did you research me before you start beefing with me? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing. It's because while you beefing with me, I'm going to research you when I open my mouth. When I open my mouth, I'm going to say, hey, they blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to make sure my facts are right while I'm going blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Even when I had my biggest beef that I had, that person or them people didn't come back at me because all my facts were right. You know what I'm saying? My facts was wrong in what I was saying. David did the video and came back and said, hey, he blah, 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 blah. But you never got that video. They did the video against everybody else. Why are you doing it against me? You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm saying what I'm going to say about you, I'm going to say it, but I'm going to be correct about what I'm saying. I'm not going to falsify nothing. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm going to say what I got to say. And I'm going to be done with it because technically, truth be told, I really don't want to be on here talking negative about you.
Ain't got no time.
I don't because to me, I got to stop what I do to explain something that could have happened in the background, whether it went good or whether it went bad. And that's the part that people miss. It don't always have to end good. It could end bad, and I still don't have to do a video about it.
100%. It changes the whole direction of your channel when you do that. It changes the whole direction of your channel when you do that.
And that's the part that people don't get because now I got to go explain myself. And it's the points where I don't really have to want to get on here and explain myself about another human being. You know what I'm saying? Because we had a disagreement. You know what I'm saying? We had a disagreement or we can't seem to get along. Hey, that's fine with me. We can always agree to disagree. For me.
Just to add to the point where it's the individual, go to the individual for the individual. Don't go to the individual for the team. Even when that comment was made and I watched back the live stream, I turned to Rojas and I was like, we're a team? I didn't even know we were a team. You know what I mean? Because our understanding is we're just two guys that have conversations and there's a mic and we hit record. We don't. But
I'll say that. But you guys make it known that's what you guys are. You know what I'm saying? That's why. To me, it was funny that you made the statement because within you making the statement, it was to the point where it explained to me because it's like, why would you make the statement when you first off knowing they're not a team? They on doing what they doing and they on helping people. I have no problem with that. But for us to beef with them,
it's like
what? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's the part that's funny because people don't really look at, you know what I'm saying? And Bo and Rohas, what's their relationship? Bo and Next Level, what's their relationship? And what's crazy is before the stuff happened, we dealt with each other. You know what I'm saying? We talked, we communicated, all of that. So where there hasn't been no negativity amongst us for us to even have a beef with Beyond the Streams or for y'all to have a beef with DST. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Really?
I'm gonna make one last statement on this because I think it's funny, but we never say that we're number one, and you guys never say that you guys are number one because at the end of the day, we always say we can learn from everybody.
Right.
You gotta have a certain level of humility when you carry yourself.
Right, but you have to still give yourself some type of confidence where you have to say, you know what I'm saying, you're one of the best ones out there that's doing it. So you have to give yourself confidence as far as that. But I'm never going to belittle other people that's doing what I'm doing to make it like, oh, they can't touch me. Oh, they can't do this and that. No, I'm going to say, hey, if anything, come get some. But me saying come get some is saying, hey, step your game up, go out there and get it. It ain't about who's y'all. Really? It's never that. It's always about, it's always about, hey, we all can continue to grow. If I'm doing it, you can do it. And if you got me, and I feel like you got me, you know me. I'm gonna show y'all some love, man. Y'all see what rohas over there doing? Y'all see what Next Level over there doing? but that's for me to go, I see you. It ain't me throwing no shade. It's for me to go and I see you. I appreciate what you're doing. Keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? I see you, but hey, did y'all see that? Or did y'all see Beyond the Streams video? Did y'all see such and such? But that's for me to give acknowledgement to go to, if you watch me, to go, oh, okay, so he do watch my videos. You know what I'm saying? So because you got to think about it. I've always been a hidden type of a person. Like I said, I'm nosy. I go watch everything. I go watch it. And sometimes I won't say, hey, I seen such and such, or I heard such and such. You know what I'm saying? It's just about me seeing it and then me looking at it and then me going, oh, okay, I like what they did with that. How can I incorporate that with my channel? How can I make 100%. My channel a little bit different? How can I, there's not, and then of course, if y'all know me, then when I do it, hey, I got that from Beyond the Street. I mean, you feel me? I have no problem with it. And then y'all be like, what the hell? Like, oh, okay. Because when you first watch it, you probably be like, hey, we did that. And then when I bust your name out, okay, I like how you did that, bro. I like how you did it, but then you also put the twist on it and go, oh, but this is where I got it from. You know what I'm saying? That's what's showing the love. That's where when you get it back, and you got some people that don't believe it. That's like YouTubers. Here's what's funny. That's like YouTubers that I thought that wouldn't even come close to following me or come close to being in my chat. But doing my chat, I make it known. Like, hey, I got YouTubers over here that's super big, don't follow me, but hey, what's up, so-and-so? And they probably be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Did you just say my name? And you be thinking, looking like, you ain't never shouted me out. You didn't even never make it be known that you know me. But you over here in my chat, what's good? And I'm basically letting them know that I'm going what's good, because then why are you over here? What's the basis of you coming over here for? Are you coming over here to get subscribers? Are you coming over here? What's the basis of you coming over here? Because you ain't never reached out to me about on no level. So what's up?
What's up?
So I do my things a different way in certain ways, and I do it that way, just to let people know I see you. And the biggest thing that I know that you guys don't do, I'll say in a minute. If you want to come over here, you want to share something, this not, then come get on my chat. Troll, whoever, come get on my chat. Because if you're that bold enough to do what you're gonna do in my chat, because you gotta think about it, you got all kind of people that will troll you but won't get on your platform. Okay, you come get on here.
At the same time, you gotta be a little careful, because didn't you have an incident where somebody was showing you?
But you got to think about it. When I brought that person on, it was funny, but I had to delete that out as well. It was funny, but it was to the point to where I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
I totally wasn't expecting that, and to where he came.
Anybody was expecting that? Yeah,
he came on. Next thing you know, I see webbles and balls. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what? I'm like, because you got to think about it. I've always had a certain person that came on, and me, I've always thought it was this person that was doing it, or that person that was doing it. And then I learned you can't beat yourself up that way. For what?
It could be anybody. Like literally,
it could be any, and rohas said right there, it could be anybody. And with it being anybody, some I entertain and some I don't. But at the end of the day, in my videos, you have never heard me go, oh, that's Pete, oh, that's Fred, oh, that's Jack, oh, that's, because at the end of the day, you don't know. So for me to assume and me put somebody's name out there, then I'm not doing nothing but making a butt of myself.
Yeah,
because I'm assuming. And with me assuming, I'd rather not assume, but I'm experienced enough to not let trolls, mess with me like that way. That's why I said, that was me throwing a shot at Philly. Learn from other YouTubers to how to deal with trolls. Go to rohas, check, see what he does. Go to Next Level. see what he does. When they're together, see what he does. When I'm live, see what I do. See what Dale does. See what, and you got to think about it. You have to learn from other YouTubers to see how they deal with certain situations. You know what I'm saying? To go, well, if I get in that situation, how do I deal with it? What do I do? You know what I'm saying? Will I be able to get away with it? Will I be able to handle it? And I know, and it's the part that's funny is you say you'll be able to until you're in that moment. When that moment comes, you're going, dang, what would I do? Oh, you know what? This is what Rohas did. Okay, oh, okay, this is what Next Level did. You know, and then you can incorporate what other YouTubers do and how to deal with it. But the terms of services, so now it's crazy. You barely see any videos. You see more live videos than you do regular videos. And it's funny because I got a strike, but it wasn't a strike. I guess it was like a warning or whatever. I thought I got a strike, but it was like the child terms of services. And I'm going, I'll put that on there. I'll put it on my video. So why am I getting it?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I'm quite sure y'all deleted a lot of videos because I know I did. I deleted a lot of videos. You know, anything that said Cody, anything that said IBTV, anything that said, you know, that they hit me on, I was because I had got to the point where I had got 2 strikes too. And I was like, okay. So, but, you know, me getting back on, I gotta, you know, tread a little bit, but I'm not really tripping. I mean, the biggest thing for us is basically talk about devices and other little stuff and then go from there. Everything else about streaming, you can't talk about it unless you're talking about Netflix and Hulu.
Like legit stuff. Yeah, you got to be very. It's a very like fine line when it comes to that because of YouTube's terms of service. And the thing too is when they do strike you and you ask them for an explanation, they don't give you one. They're just like, go look at our terms and services. It's like, well, we did, and
but I don't see on my video where it comes in at.
Yeah, it's like where it's like help us, because if you don't, there's gonna come a point where they're gonna piss off so many people that everyone's gonna say, you know what, screw this crap, I'm out of here.
I watched a video the other day with a guy that has 10 million subscribers. He took a little bit of a break, came back, made a video, ended up on #1 trending on YouTube, and then they gave him a strike from a video 3 years ago. And he's like, I have no one to talk to. He's like 2 more of these, and my 10 million subscriber channel is gone. He made a whole video about it.
The thing that's crazy is they, like you said, they go and they get videos from you. Like, dude, I forgot I even did that video.
Yeah. They need to do some kind of like a better system where they say, hey, this video, like send us an email, or when we open up YouTube, have a pop-up that comes up and says, this video can potentially get a strike because this terms of service at this timestamp, because their system does it automatically. That way we can go and fix it.
Yeah, but I totally agree, because I think when you brought in new terms of services, everything that you did shouldn't count.
Right.
And if it does count, then yeah, I agree with what you said, Rohas. Give me time to either delete that video or edit the video or fix the video, instead of you giving me a strike on something that you just brought out. You just brought this out. So if you just brought this out and I did this two or 3 years ago, that was 2 or 3 years ago, wasn't the term of services then. Right. You know what I'm saying? Is your term of services now it came now. So if it came now, everything forward is what I should get a strike for.
Right.
Everything in back of that, I shouldn't get a strike. And if you feel like that it shouldn't be on my channel or it messes up your new term of services, I agree. Hey, either fix this or either I'm gonna give you a strike on it. So, and the things you gotta do to fix is either re-edit it or delete the video.
And YouTube has an editor, so you can do it right on the platform.
But that's the part that's crazy to me. I don't get why we getting strikes on videos that we already did under those terms of services. You know what I'm saying? So when we made that video, it was under a different term of service. You know what I'm saying? So why am I getting a strike on it? Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was on the right terms of services back then. You know what I'm saying? You just came up with this. So when you just came up with this, they should have a team to say, you know what, this is the way we actually really should do it. And they should look at they themselves should look at how many people they have actually had to shut their channels down since they put out the new terms of services.
I just right now I'm typing in. I'm typing in right now on like my notes that I have. So Next Level and I, we share our thoughts and ideas, and what we do is we actually have a schedule of, hey, we should talk about this week and this week, and this is what we do. This is going to be one of them. And
that's would be a good conversation though, Roha.
Yeah, it's because it has to be addressed. It has to be addressed to the point that the whole video is literally about what YouTube is doing, how they're pissing people off, and how they're not helping.
Yeah, because if they did that, I think it'd make a little difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it'd make a difference, and I think a lot of people wouldn't lose their channel if they did it that way. You know what I'm saying? Because you get dinged, and then you get dinged, and you're like, dude, wait a minute, I haven't got a chance to do something with the first ding. You know what I'm saying? Now you dinging me again, so now it's like, okay, so now what do I do with the rest of my videos? So it's like, do I delete all my videos now, or do I mean, because you're not giving me time to go through my videos for me to go which ones are good and which ones are not for the terms of service. Because me, when I got mine, I got them boom, boom, and boom. So look.
It's not even time, it's information. Because like what? You delete them all? Do you delete one or two? Or what don't you like? Because
that part,
we've seen people that have done legit reviews of applications in app stores and gotten strikes for it. Like task killers. Right? Yeah. I think TUK got a strike for a task killer.
Yeah, but that's why I said it's hard to speak on another app, especially a third party app. But the thing is, on it, you like, am I okay or am I not okay? You know what I'm saying? So you got to go through Firestick and look at what app you can talk about. I mean, it's crazy to see some of these people's videos. You be like, oh, okay, that's probably the only thing they probably can talk about. Oh, that's the only thing they could do a video on. Or but then you got other people. Here's the part that's funny. You got other people that's still talking about cinema, still talking about this, and still talking about that. And you're going, how are y'all still up?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm still making videos here and there a little bit. I haven't made a video in like a month and a half.
Funny to see it, and it's just not like one video. It's multiple videos, and you're going, what the crap?
Listen,
so I do it. They like, Bo, how you doing? Strike? Huh? What? You know, I had like the other day. It was about like week and a half ago. I kid you not. My email blew up, and I'm like, what's going on? Something happened? But I had other people like, Bo, can you do a review? Bo, can you do a review? Can you do a review? And I'm like, what? I'm not doing no review. I mean, they was asking me to do a review of IBTV series, and I'm like,
It's crazy how people don't understand that concept, and they're still putting themselves in the public eye.
Yeah, they like, Bo. I'm like, dude, not on duty. I'm not doing no review of it. So Tech did a review, and from him doing a review, hey, my name, mama, hey, Bo, you do? No. I didn't reply back to him. I didn't reply back. No, I didn't reply back anything because at that point in time, I was like, there's nothing for me to say to y'all. Nothing. Yeah. You know, if you don't know, then I don't know what to tell you. Whatever Tech doing that he can get away with it, that's on Tech. I'm not doing no video. I don't know what wordings or what he's saying that he's able to do it, but
it'll catch up. Eventually, it'll catch up. That's the thing. And the sad part about it is if they add, I don't know, let's just say they add like one more word to their terms of service that is not allowed. That's it. Then everything previously that you did, all they have to do is just search for that one word, and the next thing you know, gone.
Yeah, and that's why I said I ain't got time for it. And it's funny, I keep looking at nxtlvltech his computer, and so when we keep looking at his computer, I keep looking at mine like, oh, okay.
Why the colors?
Yeah.
It's all flashy. Hey, he got that.
Mine, you know, I got mine is too. So I got the cyber power as well. So it's funny because I'm looking at his and I keep looking at mine. I'm like, okay.
I had to turn all mine off because you know we're running them rigs and everything.
Look, everybody got them.
Yep. Yep. They're cool. They're good looking. I'll sit here just start working. I'm just like, man, that looks neat.
Yeah. So, and it's funny to see them on and off, and it's crazy because I thought a remote came with mine, but it didn't come with it, and I'm like, what the crap? So I'm like, whatever.
So I gotta ask. Where is Bo Knows YouTube channel going? Where are you going with your channel? What is the future for Bo Knows?
The future is for me is I do want to go back to start doing interviews because I think there is more other people out there that's interesting enough that I can still interview. Like I did say, I did want to bring back as far as the comedians coming back. I want to bring them back. I want to get with my brother. I'm gonna get with Diaz Mackey and find out what's going on with them because I thought that was totally different during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. But I still think that you still can continue to do it. I think that would actually help their craft for when they actually go live. Because if you can do it virtual without hearing people laugh and all this and that, I think it'd be a lot easier for them when they actually go out in front of people and start dealing with people as far as, you know, how good they can go. I'm going to go back into doing Plex and showing people about Plex and then showing people how to get content, where to go to get content, they do's and don'ts as far as content goes. And then of course, I'm going to start talking to people about devices as well. I really didn't do that as much, but I am going to start talking about people about devices, remotes, and the what you can and what you can't do with them. So I do like that. I am going to do, and of course, you know, me and J Mac, of course, we two peas in the pot. So I think I'm ice, heat, fire. So I have to try to figure out how to put him out sometime, and then sometime he don't really have to cool me off. It's just sometimes I have to catch him. But other than that, that's mainly where I'm going as far as the future goes. And any of y'all want to come over, then come on over and take a listen. So yeah, we're gonna be doing a little bit of that, and then I have to really see after that, like what else do I want to bring to the table.
Cool. Yeah, definitely looking forward to the interviews. Some of the comedy stuff that was on there had me just like you know that really hard. Like,
yeah, and some of them have that hard, and I know some of them personally. And some of them, when they came on, I was dying laughing. Some of them, you know, for them to make you laugh without people on there and this and that. Some of them I remember. I might have to put their videos back up. I might have to edit and cut out like their part and do a video. I might just do that, bro. How you gave me an idea? Like catch out like some of the guys that were the funniest, clip them and put them actually do a clip of their set. And with them doing their set, let people listen to just their set and then do another set and then place them like in different places throughout social media. So yeah. I might end up doing that, Rohas. I actually like that. Rohas gave me an idea, y'all.
Yeah, it'll be cool, man. Definitely. So, all right. So, man, we've already been in for an hour 40.
Yeah, I'm looking like that. Even ain't that long. It didn't seem like that. But
convo time just flies when we're just chilling and just, you know, catching up. And then it's been, I know like during this whole pandemic and just everybody's been, it's crazy because people have gotten more time, but at the same time they've gotten busier, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I know we're all trying to get back to some sort of normal again. But you know, we're really glad that you're able to come on the show and hang out with us. And hopefully we'll get you back on another episode in the future. But yeah, next level, anything you got to say before we start wrapping it up?
No, like this is the whole idea about what Beyond the Streams is supposed to be. It's the conversations that come beyond the streams. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I did wanted to say, you know, I apologize that we haven't got a chance to do this episode earlier. We had done a bunch and then we kind of pivoted to a different kind of content. And then obviously things changed and we haven't done an interview in a very long time. So it was great that we got to come back and do one with yourself. You know,
you're our first in season 2.
I appreciate it. I've seen some of the other videos, some of the other people that you guys interviewed. I enjoyed them. And again, I appreciate that when I saw Rohas, like, hey, can we interview you? I'm like, get out of here. Of course. So it's crazy because anything for Rohas, anything for you next level, I have no problem doing because of the rapport that we have. So again, if you guys don't know, two great guys. Like I said, I love what you guys doing on your channel, on both of y'all channels. And I love that you guys integrated to say, hey, let's do something together. I thought that was cool. And not only that, I like it that you guys are doing it without it become an issue. You know what I'm saying? Everybody be like, oh, so and so getting together, it ain't gonna last. You know, me, I love it when we look at people and go, ha ha, you thinking we can't do it, but we can.
It's crazy because it's not something that I think either Rojas or myself saw coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that happened. We literally we did a live stream together one day, and this is the evolution of that live stream that we did together.
Right. It is usually something about the jail. Hey, I like the way we actually did that. I like the way how we actually was able to bounce off each other. And that's usually sometimes what it is, how y'all able to bounce off each other. And a lot of times I watch y'all, I like it because you guys all bounce off each other a lot of the times. You know what I'm saying? When I'm watching y'all just bounce off each other. And I'm going, okay, cool. You know, Rojas bouncing off of Next and what he said, Next bouncing off Rojas and what he's saying. And that's usually when you're doing something together, that's usually what it's about without just stepping on each other's toes.
But we've been doing this for over a year. It wasn't always that easy. When we first started, it wasn't that easy. We've learned to work together to make it smooth as well, right?
Well, you got to think about it. Y'all two been individuals for so long, and then y'all also have been running your own channels for so long. That's the part that makes it different.
Ways that you want to do it.
Yeah, you've been the guy. You know what I'm saying? So now to share it, like you said, you have to learn to, and that's why I said the reason why I like watching y'all is because I'm knowing both of y'all have had your own channels, and y'all have been the man on your channel. So to be able to share with somebody else that also has that mentality, it makes it go, okay, yeah, I can watch them because Rojas is not trying to steal Next Level's thunder. Next Level is not trying to steal Rojas' thunder. It's more or less like, oh, okay, my turn, your turn. So, and that's the part that I like about it. So that's the part that I love. When you got people that can get on and do it. One thing that I will say before I go, I've heard it, I haven't seen it, but I think all of us are able to do it. I heard that we haven't seen a good collab yet. So I'm looking forward for us YouTubers to be able to get on and do a great collab. Because I think we can do it. It's just about who, when, and then who's next.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you can get on the video, you can collab with somebody on a certain whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's whatever it is and you're collabing about it, two different YouTubers on the spectrum, and they're able to do it. Okay, my biggest thing is when will it be done, and then who will be next? You know what I'm saying? And I think there's some of us that are capable of able of doing it, that'll be able to doing it without it being the next day being an issue or down the road being an issue. You know what I'm saying? I think we can actually find some YouTubers that can be on, talk about something, and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it, teach the people. They learn from each YouTuber and go from there. And it don't have to be two. It could be three. And they all talk about the same subject. And they all collab on that subject. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Whatever it is. It's just about, like you said, doing it. Look, I see Next Level thinking like, So yeah, so we able to do that, then I think that, I think that'll be a big step for the community, because then they can actually see that we can actually do it without the riffraff and actually learn from it.
You know what? I'm gonna double down on you on that one. So sometime in a couple weeks, I'm gonna hit you up.
Okay. And
we could brainstorm that idea.
Okay, I'm with that. So, and me, you, Next, and J Mac, or anybody else that we can get in the background to be able to think about it and do it, I think it'd be a great idea. You know what I'm saying? And then we actually get on the forefront and actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. For it to happen, people will be amazed, and then for it to be done, then I guarantee you, if it's done and done the right way, I guarantee you, other YouTubers are going to try to. I ain't gonna say copycat, but they're gonna see it and go, you know what? Let me see if I can get with so and so, because we both do the same thing. And with us doing the same thing, let's see if we can get on to be able to collab without, you know what I'm saying? Without, oh, let me be dominant, or let me talk crazy, or it's just getting on, collabing, because everybody got great ideas. And Next Level said, if you think about it, when you doing something like that, it's just about getting on, telling, doing what you do, you doing what you do. That's it.
Everybody's different.
Everybody different, and that's the part. That's the best part about collabing, because we're different. We teach different. We tell different. So, and just because we do it differently doesn't mean that you're right and I'm wrong. They both can be right, but they just done, like you said, differently. And that's the best part about what? Collabing. Hey, look.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we're right or we're wrong. It's for the end user to determine if we're right or we're wrong for them.
That part right there. And most people don't get that. It's about they right for them. If they right, then hey, let's get it. Let's do it.
You're making my brain hurt with all that knowledge, dude. Shut up. Literally, my head just went like this.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I said next week, Bo. I said next
week. So, it's been a great conversation. We're going to get ready to wrap it up. But at the end of the day, it's a good opportunity to pay our respects, to say thank you to Bo Knows for being Bo Knows, because we've all made an impact to the community in our own way. And in some situations, who knows what it would be without a Bo Knows. You know what I mean? So you have to pay your respects when you can. So we appreciate you on behalf of Beyond the Streams. And for everyone else that's out there that's listening to the podcast, make sure that you check out his channel. You go over and you check out his live streams, and you check out all the YouTubers, all the creators that we've talked about during this show. Make sure that you're leaving those thumbs ups, those likes, those subscribes, and whatever platform you're listening to the podcast on, make sure that you leave us a review so other people like yourself can find this content as well.
Absolutely. Okay. And make sure you guys do check the description below, because we will leave Bo Knows YouTube channel. A lot of content out there, just a lot of knowledge. Also, if you guys could do me a favor, if you guys want to all tag GoPro Donnie.
Let us know ain't no beef going on over here.
There ain't no beef, dude. Unless it's beef stew.
Okay.
But, we love you guys. Love every single one of you guys that is out there listening, or if you're out there on YouTube watching, make sure you guys do smash the thumbs up, leave us a comment. You never know who's going to be on the show, and it's always a blast to have guests on here. So I'm going to ask Bo to do us one last thing. And this should be really easy for you. It's going to be pretty easy. So everybody has their own catchphrase. Everyone has their own intros, their own outros. If you could give us your outro on how you close your shows, take it away. We'd be honored.
Okay, cool. When I end my show, y'all basically let people know I appreciate them coming in. I also let them know without them, I have no channel. So with that being said, y'all, I'm quite sure Beyond the Streams, if y'all don't come follow them, if y'all don't come be there with them, they don't have no channel. But in ending that, with Bo Knows saying, y'all,
peace out, everybody. Take care.